Today on Law Next, the biggest deal of 2025, in fact, the biggest deal ever in legal tech, was Clio's acquisition of vLex for $1 billion. A global legal research company founded in Spain, vLex had, just 2 years earlier, merged with the U.S. legal research company Fastcase. And the combination of those two companies had further accelerated the development of Vincent, vLex's generative AI technology. So with Clio's acquisition of vLex comes the unique opportunity to create an unprecedented AI-driven platform that unifies both the business of law and the practice of law. Against this backdrop, I sat down with Ed Walters, the founder and CEO of Fastcase, to discuss the acquisition and its implications for the legal industry. Note that we recorded this live at ClioCon in October, and at that point, the deal had not yet been closed. It did finally close about a month after we spoke. And at that time, Ed did not yet know what his title would be at Clio, but we now know that he has been named Vice President, Legal Innovation and Strategy. As for me, I am Bob Ambrogi, and this is Law Next, the podcast that features the innovators and entrepreneurs who are driving what's next in law. We'll get to all of that in just a moment, but first, please take this opportunity to hear from the sponsors who help support this podcast. Tracking time doesn't have to be a manual chore. With Bill for Time, you can effortlessly streamline your firm with multiple timers, customizable invoice templates, and online payment processing that gets you paid up to 70% faster. Plus, you'll have all the support you need to get started with Bill for Time's free data migration and live training. Reclaim your time, streamline your practice, and watch your productivity soar. Discover the Bill for Time difference at billfortime.com. That's Bill, the number 4, time.com. You didn't go to law school to waste time writing and responding to discovery requests. Never waste time on discovery again with BriefPoint. BriefPoint drafts your discovery responses and requests for documents within minutes of your first sign-in. BriefPoint is the most reliable discovery drafting solution on the market, and it works right out of the box. Get your first document drafted by going to briefpoint.ai and clicking Get Started. No credit card required. BriefPoint. Draft what matters, automate the rest. Now let's get to today's conversation.
This is Bob Ambrogi, and this is another in a series of interviews I'm doing here at ClioCon 2025, taking place in Boston, Massachusetts. And I am thrilled to be sitting here with Ed Walters, old friend, founder of Fastcase, and now what? What is your title now?
Currently just Chief Strategy Officer at vLex, pending FDI approval in Spain.
That's right, too. You're not a Clio employee yet.
I'm not.
But you're hopefully en route to that.
We'll close sometime in the fourth quarter, and then we'll work out all the titles and stuff.
Yeah. So that's all, mainly, the holdup is all the Spanish approval process, not in the United States or anywhere else at this point. Yeah. You were at the keynote this morning, I'm sure, because you were sitting 2 people away from me, so I know that for a fact. And Jack really laid out an ambitious vision, and not just a vision, a current reality, in fact, of what this merger, what this acquisition of vLex can mean. But I wonder if you could just we could just start generally for you, because I know you've had an ambitious roadmap for Fastcase since day one, since you started this company. What does this all mean to you?
Well, so a couple of things. I think one of the things I'm most excited about is the kind of alignment in the mission and the vision between vLex and Clio. Clio has always been about democratizing the law and helping law firms to run better businesses and a business of the future. And Fastcase has always been about democratizing the law. vLex about democratizing the law and democratizing AI. And being able to do this together is amazing. That's the first thing. I think that's pretty obvious. To anyone who's followed this for a little while, the missions are very aligned.
Yeah.
I think it has been a feature of Fastcase, less so at vLex, but still true, that there is a very clear idea of what we want to do next. There's a vision as a product roadmap. I think at Fastcase, we weren't able to execute on it very fast. We were bootstrapped. We didn't have a giant engineering team. We were constantly struggling to move things along fast enough. We did great. I'm super proud of that. We're vLex, we did faster, but we still have like this giant roadmap for Vincent AI of things that we know how to build, that we want to build. We just have to get to. So with Clio, an amazing engineering team and a lot more resources, this is a tailwind that really propels that faster. And so from a product perspective, from a mission perspective, we get to do the same things, but with really allied teammates and faster, and it's scale. I'm super excited about that.
Yeah. Well, from a product perspective, I mean, you have, through this acquisition, it's when it goes forward, as Jack talked about this morning, bringing together the business of law and the practice of law. What does that mean for actual practicing attorneys or legal professionals?
Yeah, well, so I think about it in terms of like the number of screens or tabs a lawyer has open on their desktop. If they are writing something, they might have legal research open in one tab. They might have an exemplar open in a Word document. They might have billing open in another tab. All of the information about this client or this matter in another section of the manage. And what I aspire to here, I think the vision that Jack articulated this morning is all of this is on one screen now. That is the truth.
Yeah.
So we are drafting in a context where we can pull in that client information. We can use an exemplar. We can use the entire history of law, all integrated into a single product. And this is fundamentally different. This isn't like a pipe between vLex and Clio. This is an entirely different product that has never existed before, where we're using all of these capacities all at the same time. It's a superpower for lawyers.
Yeah. First, the way I tend to think about it in terms of sort of free bundles of products here, which may be an oversimplification, but I mean, Clio has been the practice management platform, and of course, there's a lot of aspects to what that means, a lot of capabilities that the platform has. Fastcase was primarily a legal research platform. That's how you started. That was your roots, and I know you evolved over the years. And vLex was legal research plus, really, with Vincent, a sophisticated generative AI platform. And if I could just kind of talk about the legal research part of it for a second, because you talked, as you mentioned, a goal has always been democratizing access to legal information and legal research. Does this acquisition mean that lawyers who are Clio customers anyway are now going to have a new way to do legal research than what they've had in the past? And what does that look like?
Fundamentally, yes. So look, I was pretty skeptical about generative AI when it first came out, and I'd heard a lot of things about it before. I'm happy to say I was just wrong. I spent 25 years building search engines for legal research. The Boolean search query is dead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Doesn't mean you were wrong. It was just that the technology wasn't there yet.
Well, so Vincent
Yeah.
worked better than any of us could have expected.
Yeah.
It is so much better for answering legal research questions and then drafting based on the answers to those questions than we could have anticipated. And so what's exciting about this is I'm going to put two classes of things that I'm excited about. The first is I think Clio has always been the operating system for law firms. That's been their vision for years.
Yeah.
I think that Fastcase and Docket Alarm and vLex and Vincent are kind of like Microsoft Word and Excel and Outlook. And maybe Vincent is like the browser, the Edge browser or the Firefox browser or something. But now all of these things work together. And I think it was the productivity suite that made the operating system really work. It's true of the Google operating system. It's true of iOS. It's true of Windows. And I think that these two components together are going to be much more powerful than either of them was separate. So that's the first thing I'm excited about. The second one that really democratizes this is that Clio is unlocking Vincent AI for every law firm in the country. So it's primarily been used by the largest law firms in the world because it's a global product. It has a law of 17 countries in one platform. Large law firms love that. But it's been expensive, and it has not been something that a lot of small firms have been able to afford. It was like $400, $500 per month per user. Right? With Clio Scale, we're able to drop that price to $199 a month,
Right.
a price that any lawyer can afford, and it creates that superpower for.
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that as a democratizing factor for generative AI as well. We're going to offer it at a price that anyone can afford, which is totally aligned with our mission.
Yeah, no, that's really great. I mean, yeah, I was trying to think of through the affordability part because it's a little more complex than that. Only because if you are a Clio customer, the whole subscription model has various levels of add-ons and subscriptions to begin with, and already just sort of a basic Clio subscription to some of the core functionality with Clio Grow and Clio Manage, whatever else can get you up into a few $100 a month before you even start talking about Vincent. But still, given what you're getting out of that, it's darn good price.
I think this is Clio's history, by the way.
Yeah.
Like I've never heard someone complain about the price of Clio. So everything that they add,
We'll say I've had.
have you? Because I have. So we'll every time they add something,
Yeah.
I think people think this is a great value. I will take it.
Yeah.
You give me the ability to process payments inside of Clio, I'll take it.
Yeah.
For clients to pay by text, injected right into my veins.
Yeah.
And so I think this is going to be another one of those things. Clio Work is going to be the kind of thing where, yes, you'll pay an additional $200 a month, but it unlocks so much for you. You are psyched that you get it for only $200 a month.
Right. Right. And part of this is that the research library now becomes Clio Library. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Clio Library.
And how does that get sold? Is that part of Clio Work? Is that also a separate product that people can just buy separately or something? Or
it's part of Clio Work.
Just part of Clio Work.
Yeah. So that's included in the $199 per month.
Right. Okay. That makes sense. In my asking about the legal research side of it, you kind of also talked about the AI side of it. But again, I know that you've been very much involved in the direction and development of Vincent. And what gets you excited right now about what Jack was talking about in terms of where they're going with this and how they're expanding it out across the various capabilities and platform?
Well, so Vincent by itself is amazing. Like I'm very, very excited about that product. That's going to be like a piece of the Clio Work platform.
Yeah.
And Clio Work is going to be like an entire drafting environment. It's going to have like research built in. It's going to have tie-ins to the client and the matter. It's almost magic to watch the answers from Vincent be saved automatically to the client and matter folder.
Yeah.
The first draft that you create, saved to the client and matter folder. I'm excited about the integration of Clio Draft, which has like all of these amazing forms, like super, highly utilized, very popular forms that suddenly get unlocked in Vincent as well. So I'm super excited about the new product. It really is, it's more than just like, I think Vincent is sort of known as a legal research library, but it's also drafting and analysis, and Clio really unlocks that in a special way.
Yeah, I mean, Vincent AI over the last couple of years has been much more than just a legal research library. It's obviously a much more powerful tool than that. Speaking of which, this is a little bit off topic, but I know that the VALS AI benchmarking just came out for legal research tools, and we kind of disappointed to see that the major research platforms all dropped out of it, including Vincent. Do you know why that was? Why did Vincent?
I don't. I haven't seen that. Is it out today?
I think it was out today. Might have come out yesterday. Within the last day or so, it just came out. But none of the major legal research platforms are part of it. It's just I'd seen a preview draft, so it's my understanding, unless something changed in the last day or something.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Vincent was not in it. My understanding, they were originally in it. Same with Thomson Reuters and Lexis.
You should hold a bake-off. You did this at American Association of Law Libraries a couple of years ago.
We did that. That was co-counsel and Ross. That was back in the day. But
I think we should do this benchmarking. We should do it in public.
Yeah.
And we should do it in a way that's very transparent. I don't think there's going to be one that is the best at everything.
Right.
Each one's going to have their strengths.
Yeah.
I think Vincent's going to have a lot of those strengths.
Well, Vincent's done well in benchmarking up until now, and
Yeah.
in other benchmarking studies that it's participated in. So that's been notable.
Can I add something about that?
You of course.
I think pound for pound, person for person, the Vincent AI team is one of the most effective in the world. They're amazing. Our team has shipped code faster than anybody else. I'm very proud of that. Clio's engineering team is amazing. They're super, super strong, and they're much bigger.
Yeah.
I think we're going to widen the gap.
Yeah.
I think we're going to ship
Yeah.
more features and better features faster than anybody in the world. And I think it's going to be like not even close.
Yeah. I would expect that. No, I would. I mean, it just makes sense.
It's a world-class engineering team.
Yeah.
And we're going to slam our foot on the gas for the next couple of years.
One of Clio's major announcements at ClioCon in October was the launch of a new division focused on the large firm market and the decision to house Vincent, the AI developed by vLex, within that division. When we come back, I'm going to ask Ed Walters about that development and for his thoughts on whether any one product or even any one company can effectively serve all segments of the legal profession. But first, please take this opportunity to learn about the sponsors who so generously support this podcast. Capture lost revenue by accurately tracking your hours anytime, any place. Bill for Time, legal time tracking and billing software, helps turn your firm's administrative work into a streamlined process. With intuitive time tracking, professional invoice customization, and user-friendly online payment processing, you'll minimize non-billable hours and maximize your firm's potential. See how Bill for Time can streamline your workflows at billfortime.com. That's bill, the number 4, time.com.
The $10 million call doesn't always come during business hours. Sometimes it's 10 p.m. and there's no one there to answer. Eve AI Intake is the always-on system trusted by top plaintiff firms to capture every lead, qualify every case, and make sure the biggest opportunities never slip away. Firms like Mike Morse Law are already using Eve to handle after-hours calls and keep million-dollar cases from slipping away. Visit eve.legal/intake. That's eve.legal/intake so you don't miss the next $10 million call at 10 p.m.
Welcome back to Law Next. I'm speaking with Ed Walters, the co-founder and CEO of Fastcase, and now the Vice President of Legal Innovation and Strategy at Clio, about Clio's acquisition of vLex and what it means for the legal industry. We recorded this live at ClioCon in October when the acquisition had not yet closed, but was, for all intents and purposes, a fait accompli. Among the topics we discuss in this second part of our conversation, I ask Ed for his thoughts on whether, thanks to AI, we are at an inflection point in legal. I also ask if he is concerned about general AI models overtaking legal-specific models. Let's get back to that conversation.
One of the developments I keep trying to get my head around, I would love to hear your thoughts on this because I respect your opinion very much. But of course, we know that Clio over the last few years has been looking up market increasingly, expanding very deliberately into the mid-market, and then today kind of officially, I guess earlier this year with the acquisition of ShareDo, and now today with the announcement of the launch of an enterprise division at Clio where Vincent will be housed.
Clio for enterprise.
Clio for enterprise. I keep wondering to what extent any one company can really be all things to all people within a market. And do you, I'm not asking you to speak for all of Clio, but just thinking about Vincent and how that's been deployed so far and adopted so far. I mean, what are your thoughts on how that works in terms of spreading it across the entire all workflows, all markets, all sectors?
Well, I've got two thoughts about it. My first thought is that AI is going to unlock every bit of Clio. It is not something we're going to bolt on at the end of one feature. It is going to be the foundation of the architecture going forward. We're going to have to re-engineer every product so that AI is part of the operating system. It's not a bolt-on at the end, but like how we think about the work you've done in the first place. So I do think that Vincent has to be across all of the platforms, all the products. Some layer of AI is going to be foundational layer to Clio. There's a lot of people who are like, adding AI on at some part or adding like a summary or something and saying that we're now an AI product. Right. This is going to be like an AI application layer for all of Clio. The second thing I would just say here is that Clio for enterprise, I think about it, it's a lot like Clio Pay. When Clio introduced its payment service, it didn't distract its focus from manage. In fact, as it kind of got to be a bigger and bigger company because of Clio Pay, manage got better faster. Mm-hmm. And so I think Clio's track record from the outside, right? I'm not a Clion yet. My observation of them over the years has been when they add something, they do it intentionally and they do it in a way that doesn't distract their focus from the core business. And each one of these things is like an additional turn on that flywheel that helps Clio become bigger and more powerful and more capable. But I mean, look, they've added, 4, 5, 6 different businesses over the last several years. Clio Manage is getting better faster than ever. Like the first 15 minutes of Jack's keynote this morning were like, for the foundational product, like here's like a whole suite of enhancements that we've added. And so I think the idea is that every one of these additions like gets that flywheel turning faster and the momentum behind Clio becomes more and more every year without distracting focus from what the core business has traditionally been. I think that's the aspiration for Clio for enterprise. It will be something that pushes that flywheel but doesn't distract focus.
Yeah, that makes sense. The other aspect of that was the decision to kind of embed Vincent in the enterprise division. Am I to read anything in that? Does that at all suggest that the thrust of the development of Vincent is going to focus on the enterprise market, or is it just that's where it fit best?
No, I mean, it'll be in Clio Work also, and Clio Work is going to be foundational for law firms of all sizes. Yeah. So it's not like it's going to live in Clio Enterprise and that we're going to mete out access to other parts of the business. No, Vincent's going to be everywhere. It will of course be popular in enterprise, but in Clio Work, Vincent is like one of the cornerstones, and that is the product that is going to be the most used. I think it's going to be where most people see Vincent. Yeah. I think it's going to be the place where Vincent gets like the most use. There's just small firms, solo practitioners, mid-sized firms in the Clio Manage, Clio Work environment.
Yeah. I keep kind of asking you questions that have been on my mind. And what's on your mind as you sat there this morning, as you've been coming into this deal over the last few months, and I know you've been working, I've been going up to Clio's headquarters up in Vancouver and doing some actual work up there. And what are you thinking about right now?
Well, first of all, I love this team. And I'm really excited that the vLex and Clio teams, we work together like we've been the same company for years. We're not even the same company yet, but as we're planning for post-approval, post-close, like it's kind of amazing when you put the vLex team and the Clio team in a room together, they don't self-segregate. They all sort of mesh like naturally from the very first day. Yeah. I'm watching leaders from both teams like present in these planning sessions together like they've been peers for years. Yeah. And maybe that's a function of alignment. Yeah. Maybe it's a function of the fact that, Fastcase worked together with Clio for 13, 14 years. We were the first integration partner when Clio opened its API integrations. I got to speak at the very first ClioCon with you. We've worked together for a long time.
Yeah, and you're good friends with Jack.
And I'm good friends with Jack.
Running with him at 4 o'clock this morning, I think you said.
Was, yes. And friends with a lot of the Clio team. Yeah. Joshua Lennon, Reagan Adel, and I worked together for like the super long time. So I just think that the teams have a very natural fit together. Socially, I'm excited about it. You're going to see it in the product. I think we saw it in the product this morning, by the way.
Yeah.
The fact that, 3 months after the initial agreement was signed, before the deal is even closed, like there is amazing integration of these products already,
Right.
like super fast.
Yeah.
Sales. I'm excited about that. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun socially, but I also think that alignment and that kind of shared product vision and the obsession about the user experience and transforming the business of law for all, the legal experience for all, means that we're going to have some really, really special product development opportunities.
Yeah. Not to get too grandiose, but thinking about where you came from, because kind of focusing on the legal research market, wanting to disrupt that market, wanting to, there had been the same two established players then that are the same two established players now. And in some ways, not a lot has changed in that market. But suddenly we're now seeing this convergence of markets. Markets may not be the right word, but of products really, where legal research isn't a separate product anymore. Practice management isn't a separate product anymore. AI seems to be the glue that's kind of pulling that all together.
Exactly right.
So how do you see like the legal market evolving just over the next couple of years even, let alone 10 years or something? Are we at a real inflection point right now?
It has to be. It has to be.
Yeah.
So, look, there's a lot going on here. When people do all of this in one platform, you will not be able to pay them to do it in 4 platforms.
Right.
Billing, payments, research, marketing, email marketing, drafting, review. It's hard to imagine people will want those in separate platforms.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. The market is broken. The market for legal services is broken. People who want help, who need help, don't feel like they can afford it. Even if they can afford it, they feel intimidated. So I think that there is a transformational moment for the profession to use software as a superpower and to scale the justice that we as a profession offer people. Like, the last thing is, I just think AI is going to be a huge unlock for lawyers of all sizes. If a client paid you to walk from Gloucester to New York, would you do it for the money? You would not.
Depends how much.
If they paid you your hourly rate,
They offered me $1 billion,
they offered you $400 an hour, would you walk to New York? You would not. You would take a flight.
Right.
And you would find some other way to make money in the extra days you pick up.
Right.
This is our market right now.
Yeah.
We are asking clients to pay for useless brute force exercises that are unnecessary.
No.
E-discovery teaches this, right?
Yeah.
So e-discovery changed the way that lawyers do document review. Nobody's going to go back. You can make more money going through the warehouse full of documents, but nobody will take the money to do it outright.
Yeah.
And clients don't want to pay for it.
Yeah.
This was a small precursor of what's to come. Yeah. So I would say extrapolate from that trend. Yeah. The way lawyers are happier with these kinds of review tasks, the way they get higher recall and accuracy in them, clients are happier. This is going to be the way more of the legal practice works.
Yeah. As more of this gets integrated, as more of this becomes one continuous, consistent workflow, what happens to point solutions? What happens to startups that are trying to develop point solutions?
I think there's always going to be places for point solutions, but I'll just tell you, I think one of the big challenges is that law firms are going to have to vet them one at a time. The security, the questionnaires, having been through this as a small company, it's super hard.
Yeah.
And so I think platforms are going to have a natural advantage. Will that eliminate entrepreneurs? There's no way. There's just too much opportunity.
Yeah.
It's such an important time. But I think that there is going to be a platform advantage for people who are unifying a lot of these and allowing you to do like multiple different kinds of tasks all within the same secure environment.
Yeah. But I would like listening to Jack this morning. I mean, he just had, I don't want to say a laundry list because that sounds like it cheapens it, but I mean just this long list of changes that have been made to the Clio platform over the last few months that are in the works to be made over the next coming months. And so many of the things that he described and listed out are features that there are whole companies built around. There are whole products launched around. One thing in particular, I'm not going to say it, one thing in particular that he described today, I had just written about somebody who just launched something like that. And I'm thinking, what happens to them now? I mean, it's a crazy time for that. But
Yeah, and I think you see this, I don't mean this pejoratively, but like sort of the thin wrapper companies,
yeah,
like their products get subsumed in the next release of GPT-5,
right.
And so I think that there is going to be a lot of conversions.
Yeah,
That's inevitable.
yeah,
And maybe great entrepreneurs become parts of these platforms. Maybe there's a marketplace for them. But I think this is a feature. It was a feature of the Windows operating system, of iOS on phones. It's definitely a feature of the foundation model.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have a similar impact in law.
yeah. I think I've kind of overkept you here, but actually, real quick, just on that point of the foundational models, because again, I know you've made Jack made in his talk today was that for legal work you need legal AI models and you need it trained on data that is reliable and trusted and thorough.
Absolutely.
But for how long is that true? I mean, how hard is it for the foundational models to just kind of step up a little bit and have every bit as much data as the legal AI companies have? I mean, couldn't OpenAI go replicate vLex tomorrow if it really wanted to?
I think in short, not even close. And that's not arrogant, okay? This is 25 years of my hair turning gray. There are a million there are a million things that you have to do beyond just acquiring the data. So, for example, a judicial opinion. If you just used it from OpenAI, you might create an answer from the dissent, right? The opinion has to have structure in it. You have to find a way to tag what the majority opinion is, what the concurrence is, what the dissent is. You need to update it every day. And that is not one process. That's 5,000 processes. Believe me, I know our team has had to figure out, pipelines for 5,000 different data sources.
Yeah.
You need a citator.
Yeah.
You need a way of verifying whether a case is still good law. And I can tell you that is not something that you just throw money at and it goes away. I tried for 25 years. It's the search citator that we built with Judicata that really unlocked them. That is not something that you can just poof, a roll out by throwing money at.
Yeah.
And these are 3 of like a dozen problems that are really deep problems. They require a lot of domain expertise and not just like legal expertise, like decades of legal publishing experience.
Yeah.
And this is not something that's going to go away very quickly. So to do it right, you need like enterprise grade experience and not just cash.
Yeah. We'll have to wait and see on that one. I mean, I know I had talked to trying to think if I can say this. I forget if this is off the record or not, but I was talking to somebody who was doing some benchmarking at some point recently who was finding not significant differences between some of the foundation models and some of the legal tools out there. Not in the legal research category so much, but in some of the other Gen AI tasks. So a lot of it is task specific. I mean, if you're just looking to summarize a document, then ChatGPT is as good as anything else, probably. I don't know if you would agree with that, but there are obviously tasks that are specific to legal that require legal AI and tasks that aren't.
Yeah, and I think this was Jack's point this morning. Data is really the move.
Yeah.
And I would say for Clio, context is also the move. Having the whole history of that law firm or that lawyer or the history of this matter is not something that OpenAI has access to.
Yeah.
Google Gemini is awesome, but it can't see the docket sheet in this case or the history of your email with them. And so having this in a single platform where you have access to all of the law and structured, well formatted, up to date as of yesterday, citator is very important. But also having all of the context that's available inside of Clio Manage, huge advantage, right? And that is not something that anyone else has access to.
Yeah.
All those things together, new class of software.
Yeah. Well, I always appreciate your insights and your thoughts. I appreciate your taking the time to sit and talk to me a little bit today.
Man, it's so fun talking to you. I mean, we've had conversations about so many of the important points in Fastcase's and vLex's kind of life stages. You were like, I think, the first major journalist to interview us at Fastcase. And I'm thrilled to be able to take this milestone moment and discuss it with you.
We have to take all those conversations and load them into an AI somewhere and see what we get out of this. Yeah, that's great. Awesome. Appreciate it.
Thank you for talking with me.
All right. Good to see you. Stay well. Enjoy the conference.
Thanks for joining us for today's show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you'd like to share your own thoughts or comments, please do so by messaging us on LinkedIn or other social media, or just email me directly, ambrogi@gmail.com. If you're a fan, leave us a review. LawNext is a production of LawNext Media. I'm your host, Bob Ambrogi. I hope you join us again next time for another episode of Law Next.